beyerdynamic DT-770 PRO, Sennheiser HD800S, Sennheiser HD650, Sony MDR-7506, and beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro are the most popular headphones for mixing and mastering of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We're going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the sound quality category, which has a multiplier of 3. The beyerdynamic DT-770 PRO is a studio favorite, known for its neutral sound profile that's ideal for professional use. However, the bass roll-off can be a bit disappointing for those who crave deep, thumping bass. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. Moving on to the Sennheiser HD800S, this headphone is all about precision and detail. It delivers an analytical yet musical experience, but some might find its sound signature a bit too clinical for casual listening. I rate it an impressive 9 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Sennheiser HD650. It has a very good sound and tonality out of the box, better than many other headphones I've tested. However, its spatial qualities are not as expansive as some of its competitors. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Sony MDR-7506 is an industry standard for a reason. Its frequency response is well suited for mixing, but the coiled cable can be heavy and cumbersome. I rate it a 6 out of 10. Finally, we have the beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro. This headphone offers a wide soundstage and excellent detail retrieval, making it a favorite for critical listening. However, the treble can be fatiguing for some listeners. I give it a top score of 9.5 out of 10. The beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro takes the crown in the sound quality category with a score of 9.5, thanks to its expansive soundstage and detailed sound reproduction, offering great value for money. Next, we are going to compare them on the frequency response category, which has a multiplier of 2. The beyerdynamic DT-770 PRO has a neutral sound profile, which is great for accurate reproduction of vocals and lid instruments. However, the bass range can be inconsistent, especially for those wearing glasses, which might reduce the bass response. I give it a 7 out of 10. Moving on to the Sennheiser HD800S. These headphones excel in delivering an analytical yet musical listening experience, with a frequency response that's very close to our target curve. The bass might feel a bit lean for some, but the overall balance and detail retrieval are top-notch. I rated an 8.5 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Sennheiser HD650. It has a frequency response that closely matches our reference curve, providing a very good sound and tonality out of the box. However, it falls short in the sub-bass region, which can make the sound colder and brighter. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. The Sony MDR-7506 has a frequency response that's good for studio monitoring, with a slight boost in the bass range for warmth. But it has peaks in the treble that can make sibilant sound piercing, and the bass response heavily depends on the ear pad seal. I rate it a 6.5 out of 10. Finally, we have the beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro. It offers a wide frequency range with a slight emphasis in the mid-bass, providing body and impact. The treble can be a bit too bright at times, but the overall soundstage and detail retrieval are impressive. I give it an 8 out of 10. The Sennheiser HD800S takes the win in the frequency response category, with a score of 8.5, thanks to its exceptional balance and detail retrieval, making it a top choice for critical listening and mastering. Next, we are going to compare them on the comfort and fit category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The beyerdynamic DT-770 PRO are decently comfortable for short periods, thanks to their ample padding and soft microfiber fabric on the ear cups. However, they clamp the head a bit, which can get uncomfortable after a while, especially for those with larger heads. I give them a 7 out of 10 for comfort. Moving on to the Sennheiser HD800S. These are, without a doubt, the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. Their mostly plastic construction makes them extremely light at only 330 grams, and the low clamp force means they're easy to wear for day-long listening sessions. They get a solid 9 out of 10 for comfort. Now, let's talk about the Sennheiser HD650. They're pretty comfortable to wear, being very light and not putting much pressure on the head. However, the padding can grow slightly itchy over time. I'd rate them at 8 out of 10 for comfort. The Sony MDR-7506 are somewhat snug with a strong clamping force, providing a secure fit. But the small ear cups can create discomfort after prolonged use, and they tend to collect moisture, leading to a sweaty experience. They score a 6 out of 10 for comfort. Finally, we have the beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro. These headphones are extremely comfortable to wear, with no signs of fatigue, even after long periods of use. The padded spring steel frame and adjustable contact pressure make them a joy for extended studio sessions. They earn a 9.5 out of 10 for comfort. The beyerdynamic DT-990 Pro takes the crown for comfort with a score of 9.5 out of 10, thanks to their exceptional padding and ergonomic design, making them the best choice for long mixing and mastering sessions. Next, we are going to compare them on the noise cancellation category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The beyerdynamic DT770 PRO is a closed-back headphone, which means it does a decent job at blocking out background noise. However, it's not the best for environments with low-frequency noise like traffic or construction. They can reduce some mid-range noise like ambient voices, but it isn't enough for a busy office. I give it a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the Sennheiser HD650, these headphones are known for their open-back design, which inherently means they don't block out much noise. They're designed for a more natural soundstage, not for noise isolation. If you're looking for headphones to use in a quiet environment, they're fine, but in noisy places, you'll hear everything. I rate them a 4 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the Sennheiser HD650. These are also open-backed, so you get minimal noise isolation. They're not designed to block out noise, and you shouldn't expect to use them in noisy places like a busy office or on a commute. They do, however, provide a comfortable listening experience in quiet settings. I give them a 5 out of 10. The Sony MDR-7506 is a studio standard for a reason. They attenuate mids and higher frequency sounds effectively, but low-frequency noise, like bus engines or office chatter, will still be quite audible. They're not the best for noise cancellation, but they do a decent job for their price point. I rate them a 7 out of 10. Finally, we have the beyerdynamic DT990 Pro. These open-back headphones are not designed to block out any noise, and they do a poor job at it. If you're in a noisy environment, you'll hear everything from the outside world. However, for studio use in a quiet environment, they're fantastic. I give them a 3 out of 10. The Sony MDR-7506 takes the win in this category with a score of 7 out of 10, offering the best balance of noise isolation for its price and intended use. Finally, we are going to compare them on the durability category, which has a multiplier of 2. The beyerdynamic DT770 PRO is a sturdy pair of headphones known for their longevity. They're built with a solid metal frame, and the ear cups are dense enough to handle drops without getting damaged. However, the ear cup enclosures feel a bit plasticky, which might not inspire the same confidence as the rest of the build. I give them a 7 out of 10 for durability. Moving on to the Sennheiser HD650. These headphones are built like tanks, with a combination of metal and high-grade plastic. They're designed to last a lifetime, but the hinges yokes are not the most durable, as the pin that keeps the joints of the ear cups in place can sometimes come loose. Still, they feel more premium overall than competitors like the Hi-Fi-Man Aria. I rate them 8 out of 10 for durability. Now, let's talk about the Sennheiser HD650. These headphones are pretty durable overall, with a thick, removable cord that adds to their longevity. However, the open-back design lets dust get into the headphone's internals easily, and the grating isn't particularly sturdy, likely to dent if dropped. They score a 6 out of 10 for durability. The Sony MDR-7506 showcases robust build quality with metal adjustments, contributing to its overall durability. However, the coiled cable often tangles, and the faux leather ear pads tend to peel over time, which can be a minor annoyance. Despite these caveats, they remain a well-built option within their price range. I give them a 7.5 out of 10 for durability. Finally, we have the beyerdynamic DT990 Pro. These headphones are built wonderfully with a high-quality durable plastic and a metal headband, ensuring they'll last for years. The only concern is the cable that connects the two ear cups, which isn't as thick as the main cord and could be a weak point. They earn a 9 out of 10 for durability. The beyerdynamic DT990 Pro takes the crown for durability with a score of 9 out of 10 thanks to its exceptional build quality and the fact that it's designed to withstand the test of time. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the beyerdynamic DT990 Pro stands out with its score of 81.25. Having used these headphones extensively, I can confidently say they offer an unbeatable combination of expansive soundstage, detailed sound reproduction, and comfort for long mixing and mastering sessions. Their durability is top-notch, ensuring they withstand years of studio use while maintaining their performance. These factors, combined with their solid frequency response and remarkable comfort, make them a truly standout choice among professionals and audiophiles alike. As for the rest, each headphone has its unique strengths. The Sennheiser HD650 comes in second with a score of 79.5, shining through with its precision and comfort, making it perfect for critical listening. The Sennheiser HD650 follows, offering a great sound and tonality balance. Despite its lower score of 65.5, the Sony MDR-7506 remains a reliable industry standard with commendable noise isolation. Meanwhile, the beyerdynamic DT770 PRO shows solid performance across categories, making it a dependable option, especially for those seeking sturdy, neutral-sounding headphones. Each of these models excels in areas that cater to specific needs, ensuring there's a perfect match for every listener.